edition, coming to you live from the beaches of North Carolina this morning. And again, got it's not really even a mobile setup here. It's literally the phone is propped up on the bed because this is the best angle for lighting. So we're doing what we have to do this morning. Christine, welcome. Good morning. Or is it Christina? Amy, good morning. So good to see everyone. Oh, Mark, good morning. Great to see you as always. If you're joining on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, pop me a comment. Let me know that you are here. We are actually about to get on the road and head back home, but I wanted to come to you live this morning and talk about this. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. I come to you almost every weekday morning, 8:30 Eastern, unless there's a holiday or something really special going on, to talk with you about how you can elevate your sales, your mindset, and your life. And so we've been doing this Think and Grow Rich book study and are talking today about one of the great factors of leadership. And I actually love this one. I really, really love this one. And it's been influential in my life. It's something that I'm thinking about a lot lately too. And I'm excited to share it with you too. So, hey, Christina on Facebook, good morning. And so we are talking today, without further ado, about the habit. So this is the sixth great factor of leadership in Think and Grow Rich. Hey, Jan, good morning. And it is the habit of doing more than what you're paid for. So leadership in all areas, like if you want to get paid the big money, if you want to make, great sales, great income, have a great lifestyle, then it is going to require you to do more than what the people who aren't achieving those results are doing. And now that sounds really simple and really obvious, right? But I think we can get this so messed up, and we can think that this means you've got to sacrifice a ton of stuff and you've got to grind and work all hours to accomplish your goals. And so I want to talk today about a different way of doing this that's way more about who you're being to create those next level financial results in your life. So, Michelle, good morning. And as we go, as always, let me know what questions you have on this, what ahas you have on this, because I really want to speak to you who are here live today, and talk through this, because this is an important one and it's a big one, and it does not require you. This does not mean you're working harder to get where you want to go. Okay. But it is about who you are being. So let's dive in and let's read from our boy Napoleon in here. This is going to be like 2 sentences. And I don't agree with some of his wording in here. I'm like, is that okay to say you don't agree with Napoleon Hill? I don't agree with his wording in here, but I'm going to shift some of the wording, and I agree with the concept of this. So he says, the habit of doing more than you're paid for is one of the 11 great factors of leadership. He says, one of the penalties of leadership is the necessity of willingness upon the part of leaders to do more than they require of their followers. The word I don't agree with in there, we could play a game and say, which word does Elise not agree with? You probably know, is the word penalty. It's not I don't think this is a penalty. So there's a spiritual law, a universal law called the law of sacrifice. And what that means is that you always have to give up something to get something else. Okay. And for more context, it's like you can't simultaneously eat at 2 restaurants at once, right? So one of my girlfriends talks about this, like you can't, if you want to have a steak dinner at Ruth's Chris at night, you're going to sacrifice, quote unquote, sacrifice. You're not going to go to McDonald's instead. So I hope that makes sense. But it's like when we talk about sacrifice, the way that you're going to use that law and the way that I would think differently about what Napoleon is saying here, or maybe this is what he's saying and I'm just interpreting it in different language, is that if you want to make the big money, if you want to truly be a leader in your business and your sales and in your life, you're going to have to sacrifice certain things to get there. But the things you're going to sacrifice, the way I look at it, are complaining. You're going to sacrifice entitlement. You're going to sacrifice the ways of being that are no longer in alignment with the person who has what you want. I hope this makes sense. So we're giving up something of a lower nature for something of a higher nature. So when we look at how do you step into greater leadership, and by the way, let me know in the comments if my sound is okay. Again, like this is not my normal setup. So let me know if the sound is coming through okay. On here, there's also the ocean in the background. So I don't think the noise is too loud, but I just want to make sure you can hear. Okay. But how do you do this? Like when he talks about the habit of doing more than what you're paid for, part of how you're going to grow your income, your wealth. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Michelle. It's by outgrowing your space. So I want you to write that down. If you're taking notes, the way you're going to do this is by outgrowing your space. And now you can do this too, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in a commission sales role, or whether you're in a role that has, maybe you're in sales leadership, or maybe you're in some sort of a fixed, quote unquote, fixed, nothing really fixed, the habit of out your space. That's when new opportunities come in, new partnerships come in. It can be new clients for you if you're in a sales or entrepreneurship role, or it could be a new job opportunity if you're not. But you've got to get in the habit of outgrowing your space. And so if you're at all in the mode of thinking of expecting something for nothing, or expecting more without you being willing to show up as more, then it's not going to happen for you, right? So I just kind of cut to the chase there. So what I would do, I'm going to give you some action steps. And as always, if you have questions on this, pop them in the comments. I want to speak to you directly on those. But I would take a self-assessment. Okay, I would take a self-assessment and I would look at, for the person who has what you want, for the person who has that income that you want, the wealth that you want, the results that you want, what would they be doing or thinking that you haven't either been willing to do yet, or that you haven't mastered yet? And, I thought about this in my own life a lot recently is, you're always going to want to expand. You're always going to want to make more, have more, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you're wired. So there's nothing wrong with that. But to do that, to go from, let's say that you've hit $10,000 months and now you want to go to $100,000 months, right? Just as an example, you got to be a match for the person who has $100,000 months. And so that looks like doing a self-assessment and saying, for that person, how do they show up? What's their way of being? What's their relationship with money? How much are they giving of themselves every day? When I talk about giving, again, I'm not talking about like this sacrificial, like I'm already burnt out and hustling so much and now you're telling me I got to give more. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. And if that's what's going on for you, then what you're going to want to do is reconnect to your vision and reconnect to where you're going. And if you're a woman, then you're going to want to tap into more of your feminine energy, which is more about the being and the vision more so than the doing. And that's going to re-energize you in all of this. Okay. But it's not about that sacrificial, like, oh, I've got to give more than I already am. And I'm already so burnt out. And now you're saying, at least the way I'm going to get from $10,000 months to $100,000 months is by giving even more. No, it's by your energy. It's by who you're being first and foremost. And I hope this is making sense. Okay. But like for me, I looked at, for my next level goal, my next level financial goal. And again, we talk about money a lot here on these live streams because that's kind of my brand and my business, but this applies to everything in your life. But I looked at, for my next level financial goal, who is the woman who has that? And I noticed one of the things about the woman who has that level of financial mastery is that she's really great at multiplying money too. And I looked at myself, this was a while back, I kind of did the self-assessment. It was like, I know how to make money. I feel really good at that, but I didn't feel like I was a 10 out of 10 in terms of like investing and knowledge in that space and knowing about like how to multiply money. And so I said, great. Okay. So now that's an awareness. In order for me to outgrow this current space and fill that new, bigger container, I'm going to need to get really good. I'm going to need to be the woman who is brilliant at multiplying money. And in order to do that, I need to get more knowledge on investing, more financial acumen. And so I hired some high-level mentors in that space to help me because I wanted to learn how they thought about it. So this is what I'm talking about here, is this self-assessment of doing more than what you're already doing and being more than who you're already being in order to grow to that next level of financial results and business results and life results too. Let me stop and just read comments. Michelle is saying, once I feel I've mastered something, I begin to feel stagnant. So I have to find a new way to grow. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think, and as you master something, it's like, we only see things to the level of our current level of consciousness, right? So you'll see whatever situation is in your life from that level of consciousness. This is part of why it's helpful to have mentors and leaders who are like looking at things from that angle, because they bring a higher level of consciousness to it, and you can almost like skip levels that way. See it from your level of consciousness, and then you'll say, okay, I need to do this skill, I need to step up how I'm being in this area, and you'll do it, and it'll unlock this next level for you, right? So once you do it, once you feel like you've mastered that, you're probably going to enjoy that for a couple of hours to a couple of days to maybe a couple of weeks. And then you're going to be like, okay, what's next? And that's so normal and so great. And that's how you're wired. But then it's going to be, here's the new way I'm being called to grow for this next level vision that's unfolding. Who's the woman who has that? And what are the skills she has? How does she show up? How cheerful is she throughout the day? How grateful is she throughout the day? And so much of this is about, when we talk about outgrowing your space and doing more than what you're paid for, like 80% of this is about your, as it is in all areas of life. So how can you cheerfully give more? And this is how, if you want to find a fast path to making more money, making more sales, having better results, I would look at, how can I cheerfully give more? Again, not in the sacrificial way, but in a like, wow, I'm so grateful and lucky that this is my life type of way, right? It's like that. It's that energy. And I even, I thought about that. This applies to all areas of life. And I'm always working on this in my own life too. But it's like, we're here on vacation, and I get up way earlier than everybody else to do my morning routine. And then my husband and baby wake up right around the same time. And I was getting ready in the bathroom right when they woke up, and it's like, little guy's screaming and he needs to be changed. And my husband's kind of like, it's, he didn't have the time this morning to like really get his mindset right and do his morning routine, which is fine. But there was like a lot going on all of a sudden. And I'd been in this very like Zen, calm place. And I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to practice like cheerfully giving more of myself. And so it was like, how can I walk into this room with a smile? And this is such a silly sounding analogy, but it's what's showing up right now. How can I walk into this room with a smile and help with this diaper change? It was like that. It was like, I am going to make it my goal, much love into this room and so much cheerfulness into this room and so much positive energy into this room right now, because I know the power of that. And I know that everything high vibrational dissolves that's lower vibrational too. So we got to really focus on who we're being all the time. But it's like, how can I bring that energy into this, what could be a very mundane moment of doing a diaper change, but you can apply that to everything in your life. So you can't like say, well, I'm going to give it my all at work. Like if I want to make more money or show up as a better leader, I'm going to give it my all at work. But then I'm going to come home and I'm going to gripe to my family, and I'm going to gripe to my household, and I'm going to sit there and like expect to be served and waited on at home. That's not how it works, my friend. So it's about you giving more than what's expected, but from that place where you've done so much filling of your own cup that you're feeling so full that you give from the overflow, which is part of why it's so important to have your morning routine dialed in and your mindset work and your energy work. And that's why I was able to this morning be like, I'm going to be really cheerful about this diaper change and like pour love into this room right now, because I had spent several hours like pouring into myself and feeding, like getting my spiritual food, doing my exercise, all of that first thing this morning. And that's what enabled it. So you've got to fill your own cup first to be able to do this. And then you give from the overflow. Okay. Is this making sense? Does anybody have questions on this? Um, I'm super happy to answer them in the comments. But so what I would do here is I would say, like, just be aware of where you've been, maybe not expecting something for nothing, but saying, I want this next level financial goal, this next level impact goal, but you're not showing up as that person yet. And that's okay. There's no judgment on that. But it's like, but that's what's going to be required of you to be able to receive that. You've got to be a match for it. And you could look at, how can I give more of myself in one area? And maybe what's showing up for you today is, what? To be able to give more of myself in any area, I need to give more to myself first. And so I'm going to get really committed to my morning routine. I'm going to get really committed to my self-care. I'm going to get really committed to getting up early in order to have that time to pour into myself so that I can give from the overflow. And if that's where you're at right now, then that's where you start. Okay. Because when you do that, you'll feel so full. You'll feel so positive. You'll feel so good that you'll want to share it and you'll want to give more than you're paid for. But you got to start there first. And then when you're there, when you're pouring from that overflow, it's like, how can I give more in one area, right? And you can look at specifically with your, with your sales, or if you're in sales leadership, it's like, what would it look like to go above and beyond in my role today? It could be a compliment. It can be smiling at someone that you normally would just kind of like walk by in the hallway and not say anything. So it can literally be your energy. Okay. But this really hit me hard this moment, because just like you, like, I've got another next level goal I'm going for, and it hasn't manifested yet in my world. And I know it's coming. I know how this stuff works. I know it's happening, and I'm not like death gripping when it happens. I'm really just enjoying the process. But it hit me this morning. The gift in all of this is who you become along the way. And I was really just looking at, like, who's the woman who's at that next level that I'm aspiring to be. And I fell in love with her. Like, I fell in love with her. She's so confident. She's so certain. She's so impactful. And I was like, that's the gift. That's the gift, is I get to become that woman. And the financial results, that all the other stuff will just naturally follow along with it. But that's the gift. And so today I'm practicing being that woman, and I'm practicing showing up as her and experiencing the gratitude for the opportunity to be her today, and experience, what is it like to show up with that level of certainty? And what is it like to show up with that level of generosity? And how does that feel in my body? And what's that experience like? And how would she reach out to clients she wants to work with? And how would she show up? And how would she give? And practicing being her. And it's so much fun. And that really is the gift. Does that, like, are you with me there? Are you getting that? Let me know in the comments if this is landing for you, because we think, I'll be happy when I have the money. I'll be happy. I'll feel abundant when it happens. I'll feel certain when it happens. And you're doing it backwards that way. And it's going to take a long time to get there that way. And when it happens, like we talked about today, you're going to want something new. You're going to be like, that's old news. That's great, but it's old news. And what's next? So the real gift and what you get to take with you beyond the achievement, beyond the goal being achieved, is who you've become in the process. And no one can take that away from you, my friend. So we kind of zigzagged from the theme of doing more than what you're paid for, but that's what's on my heart for you today. And I hope that serves you today. So I'll open it up for any questions. Pop them in the comments now if you've got a question on this, or if you've got a financial goal, a sales goal that hasn't happened for you yet, and you're maybe feeling frustrated. pop it in the comments and let me know. And while you're doing that, if you didn't hear yesterday, next Tuesday, which is oh my gosh, November 1st, I think next Tuesday, we are doing, this is the last one of the year, a live coaching intensive, and this is open to the public. This is the last time I'm doing this year, but it's going to be a lot of coaching for the people who register for this. So you can bring your sales questions, you can bring your wealth questions, your mindset questions to it. And this is also, I'm going to be teaching all new content on this too. So it's going to be really, really good. It's kind of like the culmination of everything I've been learning this year. And I've learned a lot this year. And I'm so excited to share it. So send me a DM if you want to get the link to register for that. But it's going to be, my intention is for it to be a smaller group so I can really do a lot of live coaching with the women who are there and really pour into you. So just send me a DM if you want the link to get registered for that. Do we have questions on this, or did this make sense? This whole concept of doing more than what you're paid for? Jen on YouTube, good morning. I hope it did. So just take that with you today and just remember, like, that's the main message here is if you want to get it, you have to be it. Okay. If you want to get it, you have to be it first. So how can you give a little more love, a smile, a compliment? How can you give more to your existing customers and appreciate them more and love on them more? Really, really focusing on that. And then again, if you're like, I don't feel like I can give any more than I already am right now, then give more to yourself right now. Give more to yourself. That's a sign that you need more support in your life, more space, more time, more coaching, more whatever. Give to yourself. And then you can pour from that cup that's overflowing. So tomorrow morning, I'll be back from the normal office. So I hope I've enjoyed these kind of offsite live streams at the beach. I would do them outside, but it's tricky with two different screens going on. So hopefully you at least got to hear the waves behind me today and kind of have those beach vibes. So thank you so much for the hearts. Sending you so much love today. I'm grateful. We had a lot of new people joining today too, and that was beautiful. So every weekday morning, 8:30 Eastern, you can join me on this live stream, this Morning Sales Supercharge. And just a reminder, this Thursday, I will be off for my birthday, but every other weekday this week, you can join me live for this. And tomorrow morning, we're going to dive back into another of these great factors of leadership. So, all right. So much love to you, my friends. Thank you for being here today. Send me a DM if you want to get registered for next Tuesday's workshop. And I am wishing you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Mwah. See you soon. Bye for now.